All right, we'll get right into it. First of all, thanks for coming on the Court Vision podcast with us. What have you were in Europe. What have you been up to just in terms of training? And I know you're playing golf. What's been like the last few weeks and months for you?
Yeah, I literally took that trip to Europe just to get away. The quarantine life has had us all held in and steady. So I've been trying to I just want to get away a little bit. So I thought it was necessary to just take a little trip. Trying to stay in shape as well.
Should have took me with you, man.
Man, I wish. I had to get away, though. I ain't got nothing going on. Training and sleep, back to golfing and training all over again.
I was trying to find how many times you guys have played. I think I could only find you guys play each other one time. I think it was Nuggets versus Lakers.
Oh, rookie year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember trying to get around this dude, or I was trying to he put that arm on you and I try to use my other arm to get it off and he wasn't going nowhere. I remember that for sure. Crazy.
Nah, man, you for sure you one of the young dudes that came in during into my career that, I kinda kept an eye on from college. When you're Ohio State. I just was hearing your name, watching as many games as I could. And you were getting compared to other guys that, were in your draft. In my locker room, they were comparing you to certain guys. I'm not gonna say your names, but I'm like, man, y'all don't see what I see. Like, this dude is way better than, certain people. I'm not gonna say names, but also they were trying to compare you to Steph Curry in our locker room. I'm like, you can't compare them. They're two totally different players to come in with that comparison because he has to come in to be his own man. And you've done a great job so far of doing that, handling your adversity well, and finding who you are in the NBA.
That's crazy you say that too, because it's tough finding yourself, in this league when it's all dogs in the league and you getting compared to so many players you model your game after, but that's their game, and you slowly realize what you do and where you find your niche at. I'm glad you noticed that. I appreciate that.
No, definitely. I mean, for me as a veteran, I had guys I looked up to. Like, who are some of the guys you looked up to coming into the league, and even still now? I mean, because I still, even though I'm not playing, I still admire the game and admire players. And I tell people all the time, it's even younger guys I look up. Even though I was older, the guys I was looking up to younger guys just because of their work ethic and stuff like that. So who are some of the guys you looked up to?
Man, I'm slowly. I mean, I've been respected what Chris Paul, has done over the years, but just as he gets older and how it seems like he gets, wiser, obviously, but he just finds a way to just outthink the game, outthink the other 9 players that are on the floor. His teammates, he puts them in the best position. He's outthinking them while he has the ball in his hand. He's outthinking the refs. He's outthinking, just anybody that he's not with, and I see every little thing that he does, from a competitive edge. And I try to add my game into it. But he's one of the main guys that I've really just been studying, just studying how he just finds a way to just get it done at this age at the same time. And doing it from a way that they try to eliminate the mid-range game. So he's still dominating that, keeping that alive for us. And like you said, the younger guys, the Lucas and Trae Young, and those dudes are really exciting. I think that's where the game's going, just figuring out to be efficient but exciting at the same time.
You're definitely, in my opinion, and I know for sure Ben is a huge D. Russell fan, and I'm a huge fan. I'm not that huge of a fan to get dressed up like Ben today, but this is his first time he wore a suit on the podcast, and it's a special day for him.
That's my guy. That you Ben.
Yeah, he speaks highly of you in terms of your character. That means a lot. Also means a lot to me as a veteran, a former player, because a lot of young guys come in and they feel entitled. A lot of young guys come in, they don't feel like they should have to work and things are given to them. But you've proven so far that things that you get, you earn.
Yeah.
And that's a testament of your work ethic, how you were brought up, and how you, like I said, how you handled the adversity of, coming in as a rookie, not shining the way people thought you should shine, going to Brooklyn, making your first All-Star team there, not staying, and now you found a home in Minnesota. What were some of the toughest things that you handled so far?
Oh man, rookie year adversity for sure. You know, you coming in to the league at a young age, and you're not really. I always say it this way: you don't know what you're preparing for. You're just trying to prepare the best way you can. You know, and without guidance, that can be tough. You know, and you see me being 5 years in now, I see how guys are molded into who they are today from the vets and the stability and just the guidance they had when they came in. Just that whole atmosphere of just, you know, preparation for the youth. I think that was what, you know, molds a lot of the guys into who they are today. For me, I had to handle that adversity that I went through to help open my eyes to how to be a professional. You know, I like you said in title, I thought, you know, once you drafted top pick, you're supposed to be in the league for 15 plus years. I'm thinking that's just automatic. Not knowing that, man, that 1 year is just, you just start slowly see guys fall off that you came in with. And that's a scary feeling to see for other guys and just to have for yourself. You don't want to be one of those guys. We got a lot of guys that keep our class, you know, keeps it elevating, you know. So I try to just try to stay at the top of that list. But for any guy coming in, any of the younger guys coming in, I look up, I'm 24, and you would think I've been in the league. I feel like I've been in the league forever. But when I see these younger guys coming in, I try to prepare them on things that they can't. When you bump your head, you learn the hard way, or you learn from it the way you learn from it. But when you don't have to bump your head and you can just already dodge all those little obstacles that you're going to go through as a younger player in the league, I just try to, you know, speak on that as much as I can. You know, I think I don't know, just it molds you into the player you're going to end up being. So the more knowledge at that young age is better.
When we did that long story back in April, it's been like 5 months from now. You don't remember that story, Dion, Jake? It was great stuff.
Great.
What really stuck with me, what really stuck with me was when you kept saying, "I learned how to be a fucking professional in Brooklyn." I mean, that you kept saying that. Can you expand more on, you're saying your diet, how you took care of your body? That just really stuck with me. I mean, I know Jeff Bowles was nearby. There's a lot of good things that was nearby, but what really turned you into that fucking professional, like you kept saying?
Man, I feel like I had opportunities in my vision that I didn't know how to grab. You know, with that being said, with the Lakers situation, it probably would have went different if you know, if it wasn't Kobe's last year and I didn't go through what I went through. But that opportunity, and it's LA, a lot of dudes come and go out of that organization. But I'm just thinking I could have been a guy that's still there, that they were like, man, I don't care what we do, he's a part of the future. You know, he is a part of the future from that opportunity and who I knew I could have been. And then just going through Brooklyn, like every situation I was going through, I went through Brooklyn and I see how the performance team was, you know, running the whole organization. You know, they were just way ahead of their time. All the teams I've been on, I haven't seen a performance team like that. You know, Minnesota's almost a mirror image of it, but just the way that they handled their performance, they preach sleep and take care of your body, your eating habits. Like, they preached this, so you had to adjust and adapt to it. And anybody that's, you know, wasn't adapting to that stood out like a sore thumb. So I just got with that program and I started to see my game elevate at the same time. I mean, I had a routine. Coming to the league, I never had a routine. I was just, you know, go to sleep, wake up. I might take a nap, Jameer. I might take a nap. I don't even know if I'm gonna do that every time. You know, so it was just like I didn't know how to be a professional. But then I look across at the teams we're playing against, and I see all my younger dudes that I came in with. They got a routine. They got their coach that's on them. You know, he's kind of still guiding them too. And I just didn't have that. So once I got it, man, I see my game elevate. It was just like, why stop doing it if it works?
Right. Yeah, for me, it's funny. You obviously went to school for 4 years, so I kind of developed my routine in college, and most of my professionalism came from college because and also at a young age, I had a kid, so I had to mature a little faster in different areas. But the last few years of my career, I did try to help guys with the professionalism. Like I had Grant Hill who helped me. I had Stacey Albin, Pat Garrett, all those good veterans I had. But nowadays, like you said, you're 5 years in. You're a veteran now. When I was 5 years in, I was still a young guy. So that, I like where the league is headed with the young guys you named, yourself, Luka, all those guys. All you guys have shown a lot of maturity in a short span with limited amount of veterans. So I'm definitely excited to see where you guys take the league with your professionalism, because it's going to be big as we go forward. Even when you talk about using your platform and all that stuff, you see Jaylen Brown, using his platform, So it's going to be interesting to see how you guys take it from here.
Hell yeah. It's just to piggyback on that too, I see a lot of the young guys that, have adversity at this age early in their career. If it was the number 1 pick, number 5 pick, this team got traded. Like I see them going through it, and it's almost like it's meant to break you if you ain't built for it. You know what I'm saying? Like it can break you. But then you see the guys that overcome it, and it's just greener on the other side, So I spot out a lot of the young guys that do that adversity, and I see how they approach it and how their approach changes. And then you see the guys that never change their approach. They stick with it, and they're blinded by it. Man, you're supposed to be figuring it out right now. You know what I'm saying? And it's tough to see it, but guys figure it out. It's good to see that.
Jameer, you had Dwight Howard. D'Angelo's now got Cat. You got that pick and pop. D'Angelo can shoot the mid-range better than anybody. You could shoot the mid-range. What do you want to see out of D'Angelo and Cat going off of what you did with Dwight Howard for 10 years?
I think it's going to be the next step for you, D'Angelo, is leadership, bringing people along with you. And I think in Minnesota, that's what they were lacking in the last few years. They've had guys like Jimmy Butler come in who wasn't the right fit in terms of their leadership. But I think you can be a guy because you've been there, you've done it, you're well respected around the league and definitely around your teammates. So the next step for you should be, I'm going to lead my team, lead them as far as I can. And the perfect example, which you said, is Chris Paul. Look what he did with Oklahoma City. They weren't supposed to be, not even like fighting in the playoffs. They weren't even supposed to be in the playoffs. So there's no reason to me that you can't be that guy that leads Minnesota to the playoffs. And it's listen, call it what it is. I love Cat. It's a guards league. So it's I'm putting pressure on you, and you should accept that pressure because you like I said, you've handled yourself well enough to be the leader of that team.
Oh, hell yeah. I think what's so nice about the league is there's a lot of teams that are that are built the same way, that are molded the same way, with the big that can either facilitate, or that guard that can make stuff happen. You see it in the playoffs with Jokic, Jamal. Like they complement each other so well that the supporting cast, they have to show up. But when anything they do more than that is cherry on the top. All they got to do is show up, basically.
Yeah.
So having that luxury of Carl, I've never had anything like that. But just to have that luxury, I'm so excited just to have that and have the pieces that we can put around it to make it work. It's exciting to see it.
What are your thoughts? That I saw you get that number 1 pick. I mean, that was some good luck right there. What are your thoughts on what they should do? I mean, do you have a strong input on that? There's a lot of different guys people could float around. There's no surefire number 1 guy.
Yeah, exactly. There's no guy that. I mean, I haven't really paid attention to the guys coming out. I only know what I've heard. I didn't get to really watch it too much, but you don't know who's the number 1 pick or what the plan is. Like I think it's so early to tell what our plan is. For that situation, a lot of guys, you haven't even gotten to do a normal, pre-draft workout or see guys compete at that level. You haven't seen any of that. So to see where our team is in the next few months, figure out what the plan is. I think that's what we're going through right now, honestly.
What I like about a guy like LaMelo or someone like that is what you used to playing off the ball. I mean, to me, you're a true point guard. You can pass the ball better than pretty much anyone. But you can play off the ball just as well. You have so much experience playing off the ball in other spots, and pick and choose spots where someone else could handle the ball as well.
I mean, it's tough. Like I said, I think we're in a position where we're not rebuilding because we got some pieces. We're in a position trying to figure out our identity. So if that's us putting our identity together to where we can win now versus bringing a younger guy in and having a more older experienced guy and, trading the pick, if that makes sense, then that's what it is. But if they want to go young, put a younger wing around it and see how that goes, I think anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Jameer, you got thoughts on
that number one pick is obviously a big asset. How y'all got it, I have no idea, but I'm happy y'all got it. The Knicks keep getting snubbed.
I know.
But it is what it is. The one thing is, like I said, you guys have two really good pieces, really, really good young pieces, you and Kat. And you put the right pieces around you too, right system. Obviously the West is really tough, but like I said, you see what OKC did. You see how Denver has built, has been built up. You guys have the same potential to do that. I mean, it's a smaller market city in Minnesota, so you won't get scrutinized as much when you have a bad game. So you just go play.
I got 3 games for D'Angelo I want to ask him about. 3 specific games. One is the most recent one in Minnesota. Was that one where you had the block on Jimmy Butler? What would take me through that game?
Miami.
Yeah, the block on Jimmy at the end.
Well, I'll take you through it. We had a great time the night before. Well, not the night before. The day before, we had a little team outing on the beach. It was nice. I think that's why we played so well. We were so ready, honestly. But we figured that was like going into. We probably had like 4 games left after that before the season shut down. But we were figuring it out a little bit. Our whole team was brand new. Coach put a familiar lineup at the end of the game that we were riding with previous games. We had some good luck with. So he put a nice lineup that we were familiar with out there. And I think offensively we were clicking. And on the defensive end, we just started getting stops, at the right time. And I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. I knew Jimmy wasn't passing it, so I just committed to it and tried to make a play.
The 52-point game versus the Timberwolves.
Hold on. Sometimes when a guy ain't passing, that's hard too. When somebody ain't passing, you feel like you're on an island. But you took that opportunity, knowing he wasn't passing, and sat down to see defensive stance and got that stop. That's for me as a smaller guard. I was always like, oh shit, I know this dude about to shoot it and I can't block it.
Right. See, guys. You see the way Kyle Lowry is. He's in there committing every time, taking charges. Yep. So
yeah,
it's just opening my eyes a little more.
The 52-point game versus the Timberwolves.
Man, I just thought that situation honestly was just irony, to my whole situation. It brought me back there. I'm talking to my boys. I'm like, man, I should have had a 50-point game by this time. Jake, no. Talking to him, and I'm like, man, it's about that time. And it just, I was shooting the ball well through that whole stretch, and then we played Minnesota, and any holes I could find, I was making a play. So it was a great feeling.
Anytime you play against a team, you have a game like that, that's normally the team you end up with.
That's crazy. Yeah,
I don't know why it's always like that. I mean, it's always just like I remember the one year I ended up signing with Dallas, and I always play well against Dallas. And I just, I'm like, I know they're going to, call in free agency. So they call, but I end up getting traded anyway in the middle of that year from Dallas. But it's always like that. You have your best games, and then that team is like, we need this guy for some reason.
The other game was, I hate to bring it up, but I've never seen you get this angry. That game in OKC when you got the 2 techs. Why did you get so angry that game? I've never seen you get that agitated over a call.
Man, I remember that game. I wasn't shooting the ball a lot. I was just kind of making plays because guys were making shots. We were getting smacked at one. But I just remember making plays, and then I went to the hole probably twice. I don't even do that. The first time I go to the hole, Chris Paul kind of like rapes my arm, and I make it.
That sounds about right.
He rapes my arm, and I'm like, damn, like y'all not gonna call that at all. And then the next play, probably the next play, 2 plays later, I come back and I go to the rim again, and I make the shot, and he still just rapes me, and they don't call anything. Excuse my language. He knocks me on the ground, and I'm looking at the ref, the same ref, like, he's just looking at me like he didn't see it. I'm like, man, that's crazy, and I don't know, I just lost it. Out of character.
That one overall, I was very surprised on that. Jameer's got to get going soon, but we appreciate you coming on. The last thing we'll leave you with is what's the next few weeks, few months for you like? I mean, there's maybe going to be that 8 teams that weren't in the playoffs. What's next for you the next few weeks, a few months?
Man, I'm trying to take this time and regularly in a normal situation, we would be getting ready for training camp, and we'd be getting the juices going. So I'm just trying to get that ramp up back up, and then unfortunately, I mean, I don't know what the season's what's gonna happen with the season, but if we get a date on when we're gonna start things, I can, put my schedule around that. But right now, I'm strict routine, golf in between, and Call of Duty at home. So I'm chilling.
Yeah,
awesome.
It's interesting. It's interesting. Last thing, it's interesting because your body is used to shutting down at a certain time and starting up at a certain time, and it's funny to see these guys play, and it looked like they never missed a beat.
Guys are ready.
Yeah, you're ready to play. So you're a hooper. So my thing is to you is like you just stay ready, and you've been through enough already to know how to handle yourself. But it has to be tough mentally, not knowing when your next season is going to start.
You don't know how to plan your schedule. It's tough because, like you said, your body gets used to on for a few months, off, on, off, and now it's just been like, if you want to be off, you can lose it, but getting it back is going to be way harder. So I just try to stay, into that.
Hey, Jameer, the Timberwolves will be in the playoffs next season. Remember those words.
Hey, man, I don't doubt it, man. I don't doubt it. But remember, you get in the playoffs, you got to make some noise. It ain't enough just to get there.
For sure.
All right, D'Angelo, take care. Thanks for coming on. We'd love to have you back, next few months.
Hell yeah, man. I appreciate y'all having me. All right, Mir. Appreciate it, OG.
All right, bro. Yeah, appreciate it, bro.
Thank you, too.
All right.